Welcome back, or welcome for the first time. If you're coming from the last flow, you were in cat-cow. So come to tabletop. You can either keep your toes flipped, tops of the feet can be on the mat. Shift your weight back, tailbone to your heels, coming into child's pose. You can keep your toes flipped if that's more comfortable. I prefer the tops of my feet down. If you need to put something between your hips and your heels because your hips don't quite meet them, that's fine too. Knees can be wide, torso draped between them, or you can keep them together and just rest on top of them. Arms can be in front of you if this bothers your shoulders. Pull your elbows in slightly and have a slightly lifted child's pose. This is also good if you have a hard time placing your forehead on the mat with your back up. Usually at a home practice it's not such a big deal, but if it's hard for you sensory-wise to be in child's pose with your forehead on the mat, it's kind of a vulnerable position. You might not be the most comfortable in it. Go ahead and lift up. You can even fist your hands and place your forehead here, or place your chin right here so you're gazing kind of at the middle of your mat, so you're still relaxed, but you have more situational awareness. Otherwise, your hands can come back by your side. Go ahead and figure out whatever works the best for you. The most important thing is to keep your breath, your inhales long with a slight pause, and then matching the inhale with the length of the exhale, slightly longer if you can. And on the inhale, feel the back expand. So you're breathing all the way down into your lower abdomen. You're not consciously holding tension anywhere, and you're staying out of this shallow chest breathing. Chest breathing signals a fight, flight, or freeze response. It's a stress signal. So your body won't fully relax or start to relax if it's being told physiologically that it's in a stressful situation. Keep pressing your tailbone back, bringing it towards your heels if it's not there yet. And if it is there, just keep working it back. There's always layers to uncover with yoga poses, even these seemingly simple ones. You can shift side to side. If you don't quite feel like staying still, you can move forward and back a little bit. You can arch your back. Inhale, kind of hollow it, doing a child's pose, cat-cow. And then on your next inhale, go ahead and look forward, slide forward onto your stomach, tops of the feet pressing into the mat, legs pressing into the mat, front of your hips pressing into the mat. So your pelvis almost angles up and it protects your low back. Sphinx pose. Elbows under your shoulders, lifting up, back of the neck long because your chin's tucked, pressing down through your fingers so you're not dumping here. And exhale. And try to make your inhale so deep that your lower abdomen actually micro lifts you off the mat because it's expanding. Exhale. Go ahead and sink a little bit deeper into the back bend that we're starting here. Inhale, lift, come out of the back bend. Exhale, sink into it. If you feel like shifting side to side, working into where the psoas attaches to the spine, that's also something you can do. Something we'll be visiting in another little mini flow coming up. Or you can stay still. Exhale through your nose or your mouth, whichever feels better. And then on your next exhale, follow it down to the mat. Hands come underneath your shoulders. Flip your toes. Push up into tabletop again. Shoulders over wrist, hips over knees. Core engaged. Chest slightly lifted up through your upper back so you're not dumping into your wrist here. Slightly forward. I tend to be slightly behind them myself, so we've all got our own compensation patterns. Right hand to left knee, bear the weight on an inhale. Start the inhale, lift your right leg, toes pointed down to keep your hips as square as possible. Left arm reaches forward. Exhale, then follow it down to the mat with the foot and arm, leg and arm. Inhale up the other side. Reaching away from each other. Exhale down. Inhale up. Start the exhale, start the movement. Inhale the other side up. And exhale down. Setting the breath movement pattern. Inhaling up the other side. Exhale down. So instead of holding stuff, you're moving with your breath. This time on the exhale, knee to elbow crunch, arch your back, push away from the mat. Inhale up. Exhale, crunch. Last one. And then inhale back out. Exhale down. Shift the weight. Inhale up the other side. Exhale, knee to elbow. And exhale. And exhale again. Inhale back to bird dog. Or whatever you want to call it. There's so many different names. Exhale down. From here, shift the weight to your right knee. Left foot comes between your hands. Lift your torso up on an inhale. Bringing your hip over your right knee. Left knee over the left ankle. Shoulders over your hips. Pelvis slightly tucked. Low lunge. Hands can come to your hips to help. Pulling your left hip down and back while pushing your right hip up and slightly forward to square them off. You can stay here. Shoulders back. Over your hips, chest lifted, pulling yourself up out of your pelvis. Top of the foot can go to the mat. Exhale, sink into a low lunge. Find where it feels good, where it's almost like no effort to hold the pose. Keep squaring your hips. Take a couple deep breaths here. You can either stay here if it feels better on the exhale, sink in. Inhale, come up. Exhale, sink in. Inhale, come up. Figuring out if some slight movement or if stillness better suits you, which can change from pose to pose and day to day. Exhale, release the hands. Either side of the left foot. Left knee comes back and down. Right foot comes up between the hands. Inhale your torso up. Finding your low lunge on this side. This time the right hip gets pulled down and back. The left hip gets pushed up and forward. Shoulders over hips. Ears over shoulders. Figuring out if you want to be in a tall low lunge or if you want to exhale, sink forward a little bit. Or if you want to follow your breath, inhaling up, exhaling, sinking. Just don't dump into the front of that back hip. And then on your next exhale, hands go down. Right knee comes back. You can either flow through that a couple times or stay in any of the poses that felt good for you. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next little flow.